Planning and Designing the Millrace in Eugene, Oregon by Owen. The millrace is currently very polluted and is used solely for stormwater drainage. I imagine a millrace that is vibrant and ecologically friendly for wildlife to thrive in and for humans to recreate in. Revitalizing the millrace will make Eugene more of a green city. The first recommendation step is to eliminate trash and human pollution from the millrace. Water quality cannot be expected to improve if an abundance of trash is in the millrace. Cleanup crews hired by the City of Eugene or the University of Oregon, as well as volunteers, are going to be the people cleaning up the mill. The second step is to improve water flow of the millrace. Dredging the millrace to make it deeper will improve water flow as well as create a more consistent depth for the water to flow at. Improving water quality also pushes a lot of nutrients, sediment, and fights bacteria because this makes the water more oxygenized, which supports a better and more diverse ecosystem. Restoring natural banks to the millrace will provide shelter and habitat to wildlife. The millrace in some areas has natural banks, but the majority of the banks are low concrete walls. Restoring natural banks will improve the overall quality to the millrace. Widening the millrace is necessary to creating an area large enough for people to recreate in. The widest part of the millrace is to the east of the Franklin 959 building. An arrow of this image is drawn where the millrace should be widened. Creating a park in the same area where the millrace is being widened will be the main attraction of this park. This unused large grassy area already serves as the perfect template for a new park to be implemented. Step 6 is to implement recreational activities at the park. Because the park will be a main attraction, including a play structure for children is key to the park. Common features could include swings, a zip line, monkey bars, seesaw, slides, and a sandbox. It's also important to include bleachers, park benches, picnic tables, sheltered areas, and public restrooms. A half-court basketball hoop and soccer goals could also be implemented to improve the diversity of the park. More importantly, this park will host a small shop that includes canoes, paddleboards, kayaks, and other gear that supports water recreation. If the temperature gets cold enough, the millrace could freeze over and ice skate rentals could also be sold here, making it a year-round attraction. Step 7 is to include artwork and signage to inform students and citizens of the historical significance of the park to make it a more interesting and engaging experience for visitors. The millrace has always had close ties to the Eugene community as a place to grind flour or grain, as well as a place to recreate in the early to mid-1900s, including interpretive signage, historical elements, restoring old buildings or structures, and most importantly, incorporating artwork to display indigenous cultures that resided in this area before settlers to Eugene would make this park a more meaningful experience for visitors. Step 8 is to improve the feasibility of micromobility transit to this area. One positive is that the Alton Baker Park already has a main path that runs on both sides of the Willamette River, as well as many other paths that are much smaller. Incorporating a Peace Health bike hub to make micromobility a constant of this park would be very beneficial to introducing micromobility. And this park could also be a destination stop along the way for people walking or using other modes of micromobility transit to experience the Willamette River and the millrace. Acquiring funding to revitalize the millrace is paramount in completing this project and will likely be very difficult. Proposing this project to the City of Eugene Development Division, the Community Development Society, the University of Oregon College of Design, and other large investors at the University of Oregon would be the first attempts to reach necessary funding to complete this project. The final step is to consistently manage and supervise the health of the millrace and park. Collaboration from park managers, specialists in urban wildlife and restoration, policymakers, and political entities in Eugene will all help keep the millrace a vibrant aspect of Eugene. In conclusion, revitalizing the millrace would make Eugene more of a green city. Improving water quality, implementing a park, receiving funding, and consistently managing the millrace will make this area a staple of the greater Eugene community and the University of Oregon.